Linguists and bilingual folks of Reddit, what are some interesting quirks particular to one language that we may not know about? In Swahili, only 3 colors have direct words: black, nyeusi, white, mweupe, and red, nyekundu. All other colors are comparatives. For instance, green, rangi ya kijani, the color of leaves; gray, rangi ya kijivu, the color of ashes; maroon, rangi ya damu ya wazee, the color of the blood of old people. That translation of maroon was evocative. I think that one is going to stick with me. The Korean alphabet was single-handedly invented by the king in the 15th century. He was tired of writing Chinese characters in Korean, so created a completely different writing system that was easier to learn and more adaptive to the Korean language. Still considered the best Korean invention of all time, it ushered the poor and uneducated class who couldn't spend time memorizing and practicing thousands of hanja, the equivalent of Chinese characters for the Korean language, into a literate class who could read and write. Furthermore, King Sejong had the manual for the alphabet printed and distributed to the masses for free, so they could learn and use it with each other. While the language itself is incredibly difficult, the Korean alphabet is so intuitive and simple. It can be memorized in a day, and read in a week, and read at a speaking pace in a month, provided good practice. Hangul is a big deal for Koreans. Hangul Day is a national holiday in South Korea and an observed holiday in North Korea. There's a Korean admiral, Yi Sun-shin, who practically repelled Japanese invasions single-handedly, considered to be on par with or above Horatio Nelson as the greatest admiral of all time. They don't show as much love to this guy as they do to the inventor of their alphabet. Swedish, many mild curse words, similar to done, are just numbers, or old-fashioned ways to say numbers. Stjuten no cks. 17 also, tusen, or thousand, attens. 18. Apparently, this came from expressions like, or thousand devils, but which were then shortened and mildened into just the number. Sjajovla, 7-deviled, is still used as an intensifier. I'm pissed, but not pissed off enough to ask 1,000 devils to curse you. Will 17 suffice? The non-offensive word for Asian in Farsi is cheshtang, which literally translates to tight eyes so that. Something I find funny about Farsi is the saying jigar adobok horum, which is an expression meaning I love you, but it literally means I want to eat your liver. Similarly, jigamani means you are my lover, though this one makes a bit more sense, because it's like saying I love you so much you're a part of me. Edit. Looks like there are even more liver sayings. Jigara Besham means I'll be your liver / I'll do anything for you. There's also Kili Jigari, which means something like you're such a cool person, but it hilariously translates to you really are a liver. Apparently all this is because the liver is such an important organ, like the person is important to you. In French the word gosses means children, but in Québécois French that word means testicles. So if there's an old guy who's very enthusiastic about showing you a photo of his gosses, better pray he's French. Is it pronounced the same? The Navajo word for tank is Chidinano Ebld Bika Danasna Ligi. Traditionally, Navajo does not use foreign words and instead forms its own using more simple words, and so the word literally is a car that crawls with a gun on which people sit. http://n.wiktionary.org/CHID%AD_NA%C3%AD_SCORE_NA%C3%A1%C3%A1 %CA%BC_DAH_NAAZNIL%C3%ADG%C3%80%C3%AD. Navajo wind talker I met said they called tanks turtles as their code word. They did a lot of logistics work, so they just matched up the closest word in Navajo they had to everything. They called grenades potatoes and airplane eagles. He was a legit code talker, but he was also really old and frail, so he could have just been remembering breakfast. In Romanian, you can build a sentence out of vowels only. EUIAUOAIE. I take a sheep. Edit. As publicly requested. Here's an attempt to pronounce this in English. Just not very accurate. EUIOOIE. In Portuguese as well. Oh yeah, who can be understood as, hey, check out this messy situation that's going on over there. It's old slang but quite universal. Another meaning would be something along the lines of, dude just stop, you're making a fool of yourself. Partner is bilingual, not me, but this one always gets me. In Tagalog, Filipino, there's no word for him or her. It's just sila, which is them. Hence why so many Filipinos often say her when talking about a male, or vice versa. It always makes me chuckle. Close bracket. Same in Chinese. Him, her, it, animal, and it, object, are written with 4 different characters, but they are all pronounced ta. I learned today that a billion in Spanish isn't the same as a billion in English. The French word for billion is milliard. The word billion in French means trillion in English. Irish people, particularly older generations, have their own version of English where they say sentences in an order that makes no sense grammatically, but it makes perfect sense to any other Irish person. This is because the sentences are directly translated, and word order is strange in Irish. Also, as a result of this, we say certain phrases that make no sense to anyone. I'm Irish living abroad, and I keep forgetting this. Also, just the fact there's 3 different ways to say the number 2 depending on context. A D, a do, is if you're counting numbers as in 1, 2, 3. Da, ga, is if you're counting things. Bit, birch, is if you're counting people. Irish also doesn't have any word for yes or no. The answer to are you coming is I'm or I'm not. The answer to is that your brother is it is or it isn't. Irish English has yes and no, but you still get older rural people who don't use them much. Edit. And then there's the fact that in Irish you don't say I'm hungry, or I'm angry, or I'm sad, or I'm happy. You say there is anger / hunger / sadness / joy on me. For some reason, though, I'm tired as I'm tired. More edit. People have pointed out that you can also say there is tiredness on me, and other variations on the emotions, and I wasn't paying enough attention in Irish class. I studied in Nicaragua recently. My favorite Spanish word I learned was policía acostado, which means speed bump but directly translates to police laying on the ground or horizontal police. So freaking clever. I love it. Like, sleeping policeman, as the Brits call it. In Hindi, you say sisterfika instead of mutherfika. Thanks for the new insult. You know how some European languages have masculine and feminine words? Well, in French, the word for vagina is masculine. In German, the word for bra is masculine. In Irish, animal names are weird jellyfish smuggerel rowan, smuggerly eroin, seal snot, spider damanella, dow and all are, little wild ox, bat scythe lethair, shkea hornella her, leatherwing, ladybird boinde, boinjay. God's little cow, otter madra roos, madra ishke, water dog, fox madra rua, red dog. Also it has 2 numbering systems, one for object and animals, and one only for people. Edit. If a person is black they are called feargorm, blue man. This is because feardub, black man, refers to the devil. So technically in Irish the Smurfs are African. Fairies has odd animal names too. Ladybug / Mariahona equals Mary's hen. Jellyfish / Volspigger equals whale shit. Moth / HRSVATTI equals miserable house creature.